Hello again, my old school soul food followers. Welcome to my old school soul food YouTube channel. Today, I'm gonna be doing. I promise these videos get better and better the more I do them. So I'm just kind of making some few short ones and just fine tuning them and see where they go. But anyway, today I'm gonna do I've been getting a lot of requests for the glaze I do for my old school pineapple cake, which I have the recipe online at my old school soul food Facebook page. But this is very simple icing, so simple. I use a can of Del Monte. I like Del Monte. I think they make the best pineapple you can buy. So I don't skimp on the quality of this. I use a can of Del Monte, crushed pineapple. I pour it in the pot. It's about I think this is 20-ounce can. 20-ounce can of pineapple. A couple of tablespoons of vanilla. I use 2 cups of sugar. You can kind of, cut on the sugar if you want to. But I like it, if I'm going to eat cake, I want it sweet. Okay, now I cut the fire on. We're going to get this to boiling. This is very, very simple. While that's boiling, you're going to also add a half a stick of butter. Gotta have the butter. Okay. Half a stick of butter here. Add that in. Kind of chop it up a little. Okay. That's heating up. I already got my cakes made right here. And like I said, all these recipes are on my old school soul food page. So I've added a 20-ounce can of crushed pineapple, half a stick of butter, 2 cups of sugar, a couple of teaspoons of vanilla extract. Try to use real vanilla extract. Don't use any of the imitation, because you can skimp on the taste. I try to use the real stuff. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's a whole lot worth it when you taste your product when it's through cooking. Okay, while that's heating up, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a slurry to thicken up my sauce here. That's heating up really, really good. Like I said, this takes very little time. Very little time. Be boiling for it lower. Depending on what kind of stove you got. Cause I like cooking on gas stove. I think gas is awesome. It cooks more evenly and cooks very quicker than electric stove. If you got electric stove and that's all you have, that's fine. But I like gas. Okay, while that's coming to a boil, I'm gonna take a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch. Use heat, maybe 2-3 tablespoons of cornstarch. To make a slurry, you take cornstarch and add cold water to it. So for a tablespoon of, for example, for a tablespoon of 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, you're gonna use maybe a tablespoon of water. And what you do, you stir it up until the cornstarch completely dissolves. If you don't do this and you throw the cornstarch directly into the hot liquid, it's gonna lump up. This way, when you put the cornstarch in there, it'll be smooth, no lumps. Cause you don't want no lumps in your icing. That'll ruin your cake. That's done. Stir this up a little more. Yeah, this pineapple cake is a cake you don't see people make that much. I grew up on it. My mama used to make it all the time. Grandmother used to make it all the time. It's just a staple growing up. But you don't see it in the stores anymore. You don't see it on the menus in the restaurants anymore. So it's just a lost art. Okay, while that's heating up, put this away. I got my cake plate here ready. Like I said, I got my cakes already done. What I do on the bottom crust, these are still warm. I just got a chef's hands where I can pick up stuff that's pretty warm. The bottom cake, I'm gonna flip totally upside down, like this, because I want all that icing to fill up in there. And the second cake, I'm gonna invert right side up and pour the rest of the icing on top. And you'll see here in a second when I do this. Okay, that's coming right along. See that it's still loose. I'm just trying to wait till it comes to a ball. You do not pour the cornstarch in until it comes to a complete ball. Let's say this whole process takes about 10 minutes. You see this cake is nice and moist. And when you do a hot icing on the warm cake, you want to put it on a plate that kind of going to catch a lot of icing, because a lot of the glaze is going to run off, and you want all that glaze inside of, you can get maybe an oval plate or something like this, but don't put it on a flat plate, because what it is, your icing is just going to run flat. If you put something oval, I found out it soaks into the cake. That's the key with this icing, letting it soak in. That's another reason I put it on while it's warm, to when it's hot and the cake is hot, warm glaze, warm cake, it's going to soak in there. And you let the cake soak up, set up about 10 minutes after you put the icing on. It's so yummy and moist and awesome. Okay, it's almost coming to a ball here. A little bit longer. And I try to use a wooden spoon in pots. I use whip sometimes. But you can't, you can't beat a wooden spoon. You get a wooden spoon, a couple of bucks, Walmart, a grocery store. I got 3 or 4 wooden spoons. I love these things. I use whips sometimes, but wooden spoons are awesome. You can see now that it's kind of getting a little bit hot. I want a little bit hotter. So once I put this cornstarch in there and the hot liquid, it's going to thicken right up. I don't have to stir it for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and it'll thicken up. So I'll get a little bit more time here. A little bit more time. Once I start making other videos, I think this is one of my most popular recipes online, better than my coconut cake. Which the coconut cake, I'm gonna do that and probably later on in the summertime, because it's a good recipe, but it's kind of time consuming. Okay, my pineapple's coming to a boil now. Now we're gonna stir this back up. Make sure the slurry is completely smooth, which it is. I'm gonna pour it right in here right into the sauce here. And you can see this is sticking right up. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's sticking right up there. It don't take long. Maybe 1 minute. 1 minute here. Nice and thick. And kind of be careful, because this can also pop on you. If it pop on you, it doesn't feel good. Okay, now it's thickened up. Now that it's thickened up, now we're gonna glaze our cake. See how thick that is? Okay, now what first thing I do, put some on this part. Tap on here and I spread it around. Spread it around. There we go. That first one's done. Then I'll flip out the second one. Like I say, I'll put this one right up on top. See that? Set that up on top like that. Then I go and just pour it right on top. And just let the glaze go all the way around. Look at that. See that? See that? After I do that, I come back, a little knife here, and I kind of go around the edges, kind of, you know, what you can do. See? Like I say, the advantage of doing it hot is all that goodness is soaking in there. And you just go around, put more up on top that's coming to the side, and then you go around to the side. Look at that. Just spinning around. Look at that. Very simple. Very simple. And it's gonna cool and thicken. It's gonna cool as you're playing around with it like this, getting it all up on the sides. That's what you want to do. Get it on the sides, and it's gonna stick because it's cooling off as you do that. See that? That's why I say use a bowl, use a curved dish when you plate it, because all that ice can go down there, and you can scoop it back up. There you go. Now we're gonna cut a piece and see how it look here. Gotta see how it looks. I usually let it set up a little bit, but I can't wait. I don't think y'all can wait either. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice and moist. Definitely gotta taste this. I got to try this. Look at that. Look how moist that is. Old school pineapple cake. Go to, like I say, go to my Facebook page. Recipe on there for the glaze and the cake. You make this for your family and friends, I guarantee you they'll be hooked. Alright? Thanks.